Hey, what's going on, collectors? It's Miguel here from Toy Quest 101, and on this episode of that Geek Statue Show, we're going to be reviewing the new Platinum exclusive Maximum Carnage bust from PCS Collectibles, and that episode is going to start right now. Hey, what's up, collectors? Welcome back. Miguel here as always, and welcome to another episode of that Geek Statue Show right here on Toy Quest 101. Now, guys, I'm really pumped up because on today's episode, like I mentioned before, we have the first of its kind. We have the Platinum exclusive Maximum Carnage bust from PCS Collectibles, and as you can see, it's already assembled here in front of us, and it looks insane. Just madness going on. I love it. I PO'd it day one from PCS Collectibles. This is the exclusive, and I cannot wait to dive deep into it. But guys, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Toy Quest 101. And don't forget to hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any toy reviews, statue unboxings, or any celebrity guests that might pop up on our show. Now, we're gonna do this show a little bit differently because, as you guys might already know, PCS Collectibles stopped doing art boxes, so we don't have a box to look at. And they already have a video up on their PCS Collectibles YouTube page assembling this. And because this is so intricate and stuff, I'm not gonna go ahead and take away from their video and do an assembly like I normally do, but I will have it on a short, so look out for that later on after this video. But for now, we're just gonna review this. We're still gonna talk a little bit about the assembly and what, goes into it, but we're just gonna dive deep into this statue and talk about it in its entirety. I'm really excited, guys. Now, the first thing out of the box, as always, is this little box that comes with all PCS Collectible statues. And in here, you're gonna have the opportunity to win that Platinum exclusive coin, which of course I didn't get it. I never do, I'm not that lucky. But here, you're gonna go ahead and see the plaque here with the COA, which is kind of cool. The certificate of authenticity. I love this because you can display this with your statue. And of course, we got some gloves, and we do have a brush that always comes in handy, especially when you have a lot of statues and stuff. This is really cool to always have, and I always appreciate this. Now, guys, this is designed by the Kaczmarek brothers, which are some of my favorites in the hobby, guys. I absolutely love their work. I'm huge fans of them, and you could see how detailed and how crazy this is for them to go ahead and design something like this. They're definitely top notch and some of the best in the hobby, and we're gonna talk about that as well. But guys, for me, I grew up in the 90s, so Maximum Carnage was one thing that I absolutely loved, especially in the Spider-Man comics. You had that Maximum Carnage run, and it was very cool. You had Carnage go on a massacre. He tag teamed with a bunch of other foes, and this is one of the first comics where Venom and Spider-Man actually tag team up with a couple other superheroes to defeat Carnage and stop him from his bloody massacre and stuff. But for me, it was really the Maximum Carnage Sega Genesis game that did it all for me. I used to love that game. I still own it to this day. And this just brings back nostalgia. And this is what we see here. Interpretation of that game, of that comic line. And for me, right off the bat, guys, this is amazing. Now, we're going to talk about a couple things here. Now, guys, this is the first of its kind. When I first saw this, guys, especially collecting after so many years, you ask yourself, who's gonna take something to another level? What are we gonna see that we haven't seen before? Guys, here it is. They knocked this out of the park. For me, this just tells an entire story. It has multiple characters on it. Although it's a bust, it's a huge diorama, which we're gonna dive deep into. And this is just setting the bar up so high, guys. This is something that's never been done before. It's the first of its kind. And as you can see, guys, this is awesome, man. We're gonna dive deep into the details of this statue. But for me, I know there's a lot of Carnage statues out there. I really wouldn't need another one after this. I think this does it all for me. It has all the elements that I want. I'm not huge with busts or anything, but man, because of all the other details in it and the way it tells a story and how cool this is, man, this just does it for me, guys. Now, another thing I want to point out, and I just want to give kudos to, I really thought that this was going to come broken in pieces, guys. As you can see, there's a lot of pieces, and if you see the video, of them putting it together on PCS or a short later on this week. There's a lot of pieces to this, a lot of small pieces. I mean, it took me about 30 minutes to put this thing together. That's how many different pieces came in this box. But man, I really thought this was gonna come broken. Something was gonna come in pieces. Not a single thing was broken, guys. So shout out to the packaging team, to, you know, the QC team, like everything. Like, this came in perfectly. And again, I would have assumed something would have came broken. It was packaged very, very well. So shout out to them, because again, this has a lot of pieces and it's very, very intricate. I mean, man, the details and everything are crazy. The engineering is crazy. We're gonna talk about that as well. But shout out to that, because like I said, I thought something was gonna get broken. Nothing, man. But this is amazing. Not only my favorite artists were behind this, but this is one of a kind. Again, this is the platinum exclusive. I don't know if there's any left out there, or if the regular ones left. We're gonna have the links in the bio if they are, with a discount code, but this is really, really cool. Let's talk about the statue itself, guys. So obviously this is Carnage, right? You see this bust here. This is about 25 inches tall, by the way. You're gonna see this bust here, this big face of Carnage. And the base here is a city skyline, right? And you're gonna see the symbiote pouring all over the base of this statue, which I thought was really cool. The other thing is, it's really not that heavy. I thought it was gonna be a lot more heavier than what it was. I'm glad it's not, because I don't want it to topple over. Obviously, there's a lot of pieces on here too. Be very, very careful assembling this. Please take your time, guys. The hardest thing for me is assembling a statue like this with so many pieces, because I can't feel my hands after so many years of boxing and stuff. All this is dead cartilage. So it's really hard for me to be very careful. I was extremely careful with this, but these are a lot of small pieces that you could potentially break. But luckily for me, everything came in great. I took my time. Definitely take your time, and it came out awesome. So this base is, again, a skyline here with the symbiote kind of pouring into the skyline. You're gonna see Carnage's mouth right here open. Obviously we have the exclusive, so we do have the tongue. The non-exclusive has the smaller tongue, or it doesn't include the tongue, whatever the heck this is. And there, I'll never use this. I love the long tongue with Carnage. But man, the paint applications too look really, really cool, guys, because they really selected where they were gonna have like more gloss than other places. So all this black symbiote, his teeth, his eyes, a lot of high gloss here on the base. And then you're gonna see other spots where there's really not that much gloss, but I think it works, right? But man, just this part here, this bust, this face of Carnage looks absolutely insane, guys. I absolutely love it, right? Now, I got to see this in person over at San Diego Comic-Con. I saw the bronze version, which I kind of was happy I didn't see this actual version, because I wanted to be surprised when I got it. And I really am, guys. Like, I'm blown away. This is awesome. Now, if you go to the side, you're gonna see Carnage here sticking out as well. Now, these pieces, guys, I will say that this was very difficult to put together to a certain point, but thankfully they do have a video out on PCS's YouTube page. And what I did like is that a lot of the pieces were color coordinated, so I was able to figure out where the pieces went. Very small ones that I kind of was just confused about, but I eventually figured it out. So shout out to them for at least having something like that for us to go by. But man, you're gonna see Carnage here kind of coming out the back over the city. This right here is nostalgic to the video game, as you can see, and the one comic where he's just kind of coming out like that. I love that they included this here, man. The design behind this, the Koscherik brothers, man, absolutely nailed the vision for this. Shout out to them, man. I love them. This is one of my favorite Carnages on this, because it does bring that nostalgia back from that video game. Now, if you continue in the back here, you're gonna see another Carnage up here, right? And he's kind of like a puppeteer, man, which I thought this was insane. This was, for me, was so cool. You're gonna see the tentacles here of Carnage kind of playing puppeteer here to some of the characters here that we have, which we're gonna go over. But man, I thought this was cool. So you have 3 Carnages here. All of them are really cool. There's really not like one that stands out more than the other. They all have a favorite thing to them for me. But these are just, they're absolutely amazing. This puppeteer thing going on is freaking amazing. And the engineering behind this, guys. So like, one thing is to design something like this, right, on the computer. For me, that's very hard. And they did it, right? They came out with this design, this huge diorama, this storytelling piece, but to then translate that from the computer to a physical piece and the engineering behind it to make it work so it won't fall apart or break or anything like that, that for me is crazy, and they nailed it, guys. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, it just tells a story. Again, there are gonna be some cons to it, which we're gonna talk about in a little bit. For example, displaying this, right? I would probably have it in an electronic turntable because there's really no bad part to this when you're looking at it. And you wanna be able to look around it to appreciate it. And like I said, this is one of those things where every time you look at it, you see something newer, and you see something that really attracts the eyes. The other option you have, guys, is putting mirrors behind it on a display, which I've seen collectors do that, and it actually looks pretty cool to appreciate the back. But for me, the ultimate display would be in a center table or an electronic turntable, which you can find on Amazon and stuff. Mine's a little small for this, but I put it on here so you guys could see and I could able to, you know, turn this around. But this is beautiful, guys. Like, man, it's hard for me to even describe it because I'm so excited for it. But the paint applications, everything so far is just crazy. Now let's talk about the other characters here. Now obviously Carnage tag teamed with a couple other foes. You got Doppelganger here, you got Demo Goblin here as well, and here's here on his hoverboard that's obviously flames and stuff, and they're kind of both here fighting along. And this is one of the first times that Spider-Man and Venom actually tag team with each other, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I always like when a villain is a powerful villain and one that we like that tag teams, you know, with the hero. And you're gonna see Venom here kind of fighting both of them off, and then you're gonna see Spider-Man here swinging into action. You got Cloak up here, which is kind of cool. Man, the paint applications on his cape look amazing with the blue stripes. That looks really cool. And you're gonna see all of them kind of attached. You know, like I said, Carnage playing puppeteer. The visual effects are pretty cool, but this is also to kind of keep them in place, which I thought was really cool. They have little magnets here, which I thought was awesome. And here on the bottom, you're gonna go ahead and see Black Cat here and Shriek fighting here on the bottom, which I thought was really, really cool. Now, it would have been cool if they would have added some more, you know, characters here on the bottom, maybe on this side of the statue. You know, they could have added Captain America or a couple others that showed up in the comics. But for me, these are the main ones. They're pretty cool. But man, this is such an awesome statue, guys. Like, I am really impressed. Now, when this came out, I think I got it for like $1,200. Now I think it's up to like $15. Now, PCS, again, this is the first of its kind, but they did come out with two other ones. They came out with the Gladiator Hawk, which I got to see that in person at San Diego Comic-Con. Beautiful statue, huge, a lot bigger than this. And the price tag was a lot more. It was like another grand on top of that. I wasn't able to get it. I wanted to, but then I was kind of glad I didn't. But a beautiful piece. Planet Hawk was a cool comic story as well. They came out with that one. Then they came out with the Darth Vader one. That one you're gonna see a review coming soon when it comes out, because I did order that day one. I love the Vader piece. Same thing, you're gonna see that storytelling bust with all kind of things wrapped around it and different storylines entangled into one statue. I mean, what an incredible art piece. Just straight up incredible art piece, storytelling piece, all in one shot. I love it. Now, a lot of people didn't like it because they're, it's too much going on. It's too much for my eyes. That's okay. For me, I'm very extra. I love when there's a lot of things going on. I love when there's one or more characters, you know, like a diorama in one base. And I love when it tells a story, right? For somebody to have a stationary piece telling a story, creative movement, things like that, that for me is art. So the Koscherik brothers, PCS, I think you guys nailed it. The other two busts that you guys came out with, the Planet Hawk and the Darth Vader, I think those look phenomenal too. I cannot wait for the Darth Vader one. But man, this is awesome, guys. Like, this is beautiful. Now, let's talk about a little bit of the details on here. Obviously, there's a lot more details on the bigger pieces as expected. But here on the smaller pieces, they lack some detail, mainly paint applications because they are smaller pieces. But it works, right? Like, it's not taken away from the statue. Obviously, these are one-offs on the side. And for being the size that they are, they do look pretty good. So no complaints there. Just trying to show you guys the differences between them and stuff. But man, this is so well done, guys. Again, you could swap out the tongue here. I'm gonna keep the big tongue there because I think for me, that's how I envision Carnage. But man, what an amazing piece. I mean, the presence here, this is insane, guys. Honestly, again, being in the statue game for so long, I'm always wondering who's gonna take it to the next level. And I'm telling you right now, PCS, the Koscherik brothers, they took it to the next level. This is the first of its kind. Nobody else is doing anything like this. I love this. This for me is awesome. Again, I don't have that many busts, but I'm probably gonna have some now because I do love this idea. I do love this concept. And like I said, guys, for them to go ahead and design something like this on the computer and then bring it to life in physical form, man, the engineering and everything that to make this happen is just amazing. It blows my mind. This is really, really incredible. Shout out to you guys, man. Guys, let us know in the comments what you guys think about this statue. If you got it, if you got the exclusive, did you win the coin? Let me know who won the coin. But this is incredible, guys. I absolutely love this. But I want to know in the comments, guys, because there were some people who thought this was too much. There was a lot going on, which there is. And then there's some people who absolutely loved it. Guys, I think, man, I don't grade statues, but for me, 10 out of 10, man. There's no complaints whatsoever. And again, I'm more shocked that nothing came in broken. And like I said, for them to just make this design and make it work, I mean, this is incredible, guys. I absolutely love this, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think about this statue, guys. Make sure you stay tuned for our short where we're going to be putting it together as well. But if you need help putting it together, again, go to PCS's YouTube page so you can see their assembly video. But this, guys, is freaking amazing. I absolutely love it, guys. Let us know in the comments below, guys. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to Toy Quest 101. We'll see you guys on another episode. Bye, guys.